Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian Dienen. I'm the CFO of Mr. Spex. Mr. Spex is a leading digitally native omnichannel brand in Europe. So, what does that mean? What is our purpose? Generally, we want to empower and inspire people to wear glasses with joy and confidence, which also means that customers at Mr. Spex, they are not purposely getting to us to buy a medical device. They are more coming to us to actually buy fashionable eyewear that fits their personality. Mr. Spex at a glance. We are talking about a company that is live in 10 different countries with our online stores and has 54 stores live in either shopping centers or high streets across 3 different countries, with 49 stores in Germany, 3 stores in Austria, and 2 stores in Sweden. When we take a look at the performance in 2021, we're talking about a company that generates 194 million in revenues with an 18% year-over-year growth and a growth of 39% compared to 2019 levels, both tremendously outperforming the overall market that is growing by roughly 6%. Gross margin at Mr. Spex at 49.1% in 2021, primarily driven by the prescription glass category that has a gross margin of around 70% and an adjusted EBITDA of 4.1 million. We are achieving that with a customer base of more than 5.8 million customers. The majority of our customers and our revenues is generated in Germany, with more than 70% of revenue share as of today and 30% for our international business. We expect the international business in the medium term to stronger align to German revenue levels, meaning that we expect an alignment to 40 to 60 or 50 to 50%. Revenue by category, as you can see, prescription glasses as of today is already our most important category, generating more than 40% in sales, which will also going forward be the most important category for us, as it is the category with the highest gross margin. So generally, we are operating in a highly attractive market due to the fact that we see that gross margins are higher, or at least on a level of the luxury segment, and even the fashion area is strongly below prescription eyewear. EBITDA margins on average in the market are in a range of around 20%, which is very comparable to the luxury segment. And we are talking about an average order value that is easily in the 3-digit area due to the fact that it's primarily driven by prescription glass category. And what is also interesting is that when you take a look at the main macro trends, you can actually see that due to the aging population, we are talking about a growing myopia prevalence. We are seeing that the digital native cohorts are aging. So our core customer group as of today is getting in older aging cohorts, supporting us not only in our overall revenue development, but also allowing us to increase the average order value per customer. And thirdly, the trend to fashionable eyewear, to fashion, which is clearly also supporting a brand like Mr. Spex, which is focusing on fashion and luxury. And not to forget, we are operating in a market that has 6 billion of market volume in Germany alone, 32 billion in Europe, and more than 100 billion overall. And we are talking about a market that is growing between 2 to 4% on a CAGR level between 2020 and 2025. And we do not expect this to slow down. We generally actually expect this to at least remain stable, if not increase, due to the macro trends outlined earlier. So how does our business model work? We are talking about omnichannel, but what does omnichannel mean? So first, for us, it's important to know that a customer can be fully flexible when it comes to deciding and choosing to buy eyewear. The customer can do it fully online, starting the purchasing process with an online eye test first, then choosing specific frames out of our broad assortment, and also trying it on with virtual try-on, and then having sent up to 4 frames home, which is called home trial, where you can actually then at home try them on, take a look at it, have the feeling of the frames, and then send it back and do a follow-up order, which then is with your specific glasses. So it's a glazed frame then. And also this can be done fully online. On the other hand, you can also go and choose one of our 54 stores where you can exactly have the same customer journey with an eye test, which is then handled in our stores, and choose between the roughly 800 frames, 800 to 1,000 frames that are in our stores, and then do the order in one of our stores. Or you can actually decide to start the process online and finish it offline, or the other way around. In general, this is possible due to the fact that we have a very strong technological backbone where we have a unified customer backend, meaning that we do not differentiate between online and offline. It's one customer account a customer has, and regardless if he chooses to do a purchase online or offline, it's always in his or her account, where she or he can also easily do a follow-up order on Sundays via the online stream. And this setup actually allows us to grow up to 25% in the medium term. So we expect to increase our revenues on a year-by-year basis up to 25% in the medium term. And we will achieve that by a high and market-leading Net Promoter Score. We have higher repurchase rate than the market average. We are talking at Mister Spex about a repurchase rate between 2 to 3 years. The market average is more in a direction of 3 to 4 years. And we will achieve this with increasing customer lifetime values and continuously decreasing customer acquisition costs. So our customer experience, I already mentioned it briefly on the previous slide, is consistent across all our online and offline touch points. So you can either choose to also stay in a store and take pictures of our frames, or just directly go to the website and then right away choose between different colors and so on. But it's all easy and convenient regardless which way you choose. And also when we come to the lens selection and so on, also the pricing is always the same. It's all transparent regardless which store you use, whether you go in a store in Hamburg, Munich, or Düsseldorf, it's always the same. Likewise, it is when you decide to do a purchase online. So, and not only are we generally profiting from the overall development, meaning that a store helps us to push our top line, we also see on the one hand side that we see a positive upside effect when it comes to market share, but we also see that once we have a store going live in a specific region, that after a short period of time, we also see a ramp up and a stronger growth in this region from an online sales perspective compared to a non-store region. We are talking about a 22% stronger growth in a store region compared to a non-store region when it comes to our online sales, meaning that also new offline stores are supporting our online development. And what you can actually see here is the overall development of the German eyewear market. So we indexed actually our development compared to the overall eyewear market and large German retail chains, where you can see that since 2012, Mister Spex has shown an overproportionate strong growth compared to the overall market and largest retail chains. And we are talking with Mister Spex about a brand that is not only growing over proportionally strong on a group level, we are also by now the biggest player in the sunglasses segment in the eyewear industry in Germany. We are market leader here. And when it comes to the overall revenue development on group level in Germany, we are number 3 by now. And we are achieving that with a sales productivity that is over proportionally higher than the market average and the main competitors in the German market. We used the data here from the year 2019 due to the fact that this is the last year prior to the pandemic situation. But as you can see, regardless if we are talking about stores only, our sales productivity is higher due to our totally different store approach, which is focused on fashion, which is focused on shopping experience rather than buying a medical device. So what is our value proposition? What is it all about? So not only are we disrupting the industry with a market-leading omni-channel approach, with a very lean setup and a very strong technical backbone, we also have the largest and most relevant assortment when it comes to frames. So we are talking about more than 10,000 SKUs, which is on the one hand side primarily driven by third-party brands, well-known brands of Tom Ford, of Ray-Ban and other relevant brands. But we are also strongly focusing on our own brands and also supporting independent labels and having certain assortment of collaborations with influencers, which we develop on our own. And for us, price transparency is very important. As I already mentioned, for us, it's no difference whether you buy glasses in one of our stores or online, the price is always the same, which clearly differentiates us from the competition and which allows a customer, if he decides to choose Mister Spex instead of one of our competitors, to save up to 30% on average. And we are always working on further improving the customer journey and also ensuring that the delivery process is as convenient as possible. So the majority of our orders are delivered on a same day basis. And we also plan with our today 45 stores to bring this up to another level. In the medium term, we plan to have more than 200 stores live in Germany and Europe, with the majority clearly still in Germany, but also with a strong development in other European markets. And what is driving the overall development of Mister Spex? First, generally the structural growth. So we clearly see that there is also a shift more and more coming from traditional opticians into omni-channel brands such as Mister Spex. We also see that there is a structural shift more to online, specifically when it comes to ordering contact lenses and sunglasses. And we see that with our decision to launch additional stores, we are also clearly supporting our brand value, increasing our brand awareness, helping with the additional stores in specific high street locations and shopping centers to increase the brand recognition across the population, helping also to ramp up our online development. And we will further invest in technology to even increase our leadership position. So for us, it's not sufficient to accept that we are the digital disruptor of the eyewear industry. We do not stop there. So we are always thinking about new specific ideas. How can we add additional value for the customers? How can we make it more attractive for them to use our service online exclusively or in connection with our stores? And last but not least, we are obviously also looking at other geographies, other markets where we can go in first online, and then after we have built a certain brand awareness in that market, also include store rollouts in those markets. Last but not least, what does this mean for 2022? Clearly, we expect an increase in our top line development from 18.2% in 2021. We expect slight increase in 2022. And we also expect that this will have a positive impact on our overall profitability. So therefore, we expect an increase in adjusted EBITDA as well. In the medium term, we expect to grow on a year-over-year basis at or around 25% in revenues, with a gross margin that is at or beyond 60%, primarily driven by continuously increasing prescription glass share, and an adjusted EBITDA margin that is expected to be in the low teens. So this is it. about Mr. Specs. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out anytime to our investor relations department. Thank you very much.
Since you watched this company video until the end, I'm guessing you liked the video. That's probably because we work very hard to create the most engaging and value-added content possible for you. If you're a stock-listed company or corporation and want to find out how we at C11A can make a company video with and about you, please email us at community@c11a.com.